guys, it's Skybird here, and I wanted to show you something I was very happy with. This little guy. This is not Mata White, unfortunately, but it is a resin cast. It is my very first resin cast, and I'm really stoked with the end results here because the surface texture on this is nearly flawless, which makes me so happy. That said, this did not come from a two-part mold. The reason for that is because I screwed up. Well, technically, no, I didn't. The brands did. I ran into an issue with the silicone that I was using actually reacting with the hot glue that I used to build the box to create the mold in, and it would melt the hot glue, which meant a lot of the silicone ended up leaking out. It did leave enough silicone in a layer there that I might be able to use it still, but the second problem I ran into is the mold release I used. Though online it says that it can be used with silicone molds, it also says it's silicone based, and my brain automatically thinks that, well, then that's probably just going to stick to another layer of silicone. That would be a waste of, silicone. So why bother? Anyway, that said, really happy with this. This is the mold that I made right here. I figured I'd go ahead and just try one because why not? I had to wait until that other box was completely cured anyway before I could even attempt to remove the silicone that was in it. And I had cups laying around, might as well try and use one. Came out really well. I did kind of make a mistake when actually doing the cut itself. The reason it's called a cut mold, is because you cut into it. But I ended up running into a small issue where I thought I was cutting on the back side of the mask because I can see through the bottom of this and actually see where the mask is. I ended up actually cutting forward toward the front a little bit, which did cause a little bit of an issue on the front of the mask here where some of the resin was able to bleed into that. It's not a major issue. It's definitely something I can clean up, but I'm not worried about it. It's my first mask. It's not perfect, and that's okay. That said, it's pretty darn close. I'm really happy with the results here. There are zero bubbles in this, which is fantastic. I am using a pressure pot, but with a cut mold, it's a lot harder to get rid of bubbles, and this had no ventilation outside of the funnel itself. The funnel was connected here. I did make it a little bit too big, but that's because I had coated my masks in mold release before attaching the funnel because I didn't expect to do it this way, and that obviously led to an issue. So the funnel didn't want to stick, and so I had to basically just make the funnel larger. Because of that, I ended up actually cutting into a bit of the mask itself. It's not a big deal. I don't plan on selling this or doing anything with it. It's special to me. It's my first one. I'm really happy with it. The main thing I wanted to mention, however, and another issue I ran into was the pigment that I am using. So this is actually using acrylic paint, something I've seen a lot of other people actually be able to use successfully. However, for some reason, yet again, the acrylic paint that I have does not mix with the resin that I bought. Obviously, resin is typically oil-based, or I think it's all oil-based, whereas acrylic paint is water-based. So that obviously leads to some issues. But I wasn't expecting anything major with the amounts that I was using. I figured it would just go ahead and mix in. It did not. It just emulsified instead. However, that still led to a really interesting looking texture on it, so I'll take it. It's not a big deal. I noticed right away when I was mixing it that this is not going to mix no matter what I do, so I went ahead and added a little bit of iridescent mica powder as well to give it a hint of an iridescent shine. It's not enough to be a noteworthy feature, but it is there and you can see it. Really happy with the end result here, and it's super clean. I'm so happy with the end result. So yeah, I may go ahead and attempt another one. I don't know specifically what color I would do as of yet. I'd probably add in more mica powder and see if I can play around with it. Adding pigment too is also fine, but it's not ideal if it's not going to mix in the first place. It'd just be kind of a waste. That said, I did have a package arrive today, and I've got my light on, but I may have to show this to you with light off because this is glow in the dark powder. I got 12 of these, all different colors, all 0.7 ounces, give or take. And I think I got it for $12, which is not a bad deal. It also came with a little flashlight to light it up with, so I'll take it. But yeah, I'll show this to you once I kind of light it up a little bit. You guys can sort of see it. I also got an iridescent medium, which is just something you can add to acrylic paint. I figured that would stretch out the mica powder that I got. But yeah, so here's this without the glow, and there's the glow. You can see that. Very bright. Really happy with how that came out. And that one there is the lime color. It does seem like some of them just use the same glow-in-the-dark particles, so even though it might say like purple or one of the other colors, it might still glow kind of green. But if it's a low glow, it'll kind of glow the color of the powder. It's only when you add like a lot of light that the color of the actual glow-in-the-dark material itself starts to show through. So really happy with it nonetheless. Seems like pretty high quality too. I haven't opened any of them because I don't want to make even more of a mess than I already have. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe because it does help the channel out a lot. As always, my links can be found in the description. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.